Hello and welcome to Dance Talks. I'm your host, Andrea Cody. Today is October 22nd, 2020, and my guest is Janel Caminos. Janel is a full-time healthcare professional for Harris County and a part-time dancer and dance instructor. Janel, thank you for being a part of Dance Talks.
Yes, thank you for having me today.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to hear more about you and what you do. I've known you as a dance teacher, but how did you get started dancing?
I've been dancing my whole life since I was probably 5 years old, maybe even younger.
Where are you from?
I'm from Houston, but my mom's from Puerto Rico, and I was raised in that culture. So my mom always says that I could shimmy before I could walk because I was just used to dancing and listening to music. And people ask me all the time, how'd you learn to dance? I'm like, at home, in my living room. I grew up mostly with salsa. That's my favorite. And that's what I still do to this day. That's, I would say, my number one passion and dance of choice, even though I love all other dances, but that's like my number one. That's my true love.
Yeah, like with a partner, traditional salsa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dancing with a partner. Partner doesn't have to be a male. I mean, you can dance with your mom, your sisters, your cousins, your dad, and then of course, the social dancing, partner dancing. I've done the competitions, the performances, all that. But yes, I learned, I call that social dancing. Okay. It's not like the ballroom proper technique or what you see on Dancing with the Stars. I mean, it is dancing, but that's not like my style. I'm more of the street cultural side.
Okay, cool. So you just like to go out and do it?
Yes. I mean, I'll do both. I'll do the technical side and I'll do like the fun side.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be professional all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you take classes?
For some genres, yes. Or I've trained or competed. So it just depends. With salsa, I never really took classes, but I was on teams before. I've started actually my own Latin dance company in college at Texas State, Ritmo Latino, so I would teach people how to dance salsa. I can teach basics, but I never actually like professionally trained in salsa, if that makes sense.
Sure. Do you lead?
I can, and honestly, I think after this pandemic, I'm going to have to take classes in everything because I don't know if I know how to lead anymore. I feel like I'm going to have to brush up my skills, but yes.
Yeah.
The basics, yes.
Cool. Yeah, that's a part of teaching.
Yes.
It seems you have to learn both parts, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. What are your favorite places to go out in Houston?
In Houston. So it depends on what kind of event. So I love, like I said, salsa, but I don't just do salsa. I dance kizomba. I like Caribbean dancing like soca, dance hall. So it depends on what's going on the weekend.
Okay.
If it's like a Latin party, is it an African party, Caribbean party, I'm going to be there. So there's different dance styles. But usually when I go to like dancing for socials, and dance socials is what we call them, I don't really like clubs. So I go to dance socials, which is where we rent out a dance studio and we just dance all night. And we have DJs, and if you go to a Latin social, there'll be a bachata room, a salsa room, there might be a kizomba room, so different genres within the studio so you can dance. So you don't have to worry about the club life,
right?
A lot of drunks or inappropriate things going on. It's just, everyone's here strictly to dance, and it's like a safe environment.
And so where are those?
Usually at the studios.
Like which ones were they?
I like to go to Sarrica Dance, or I think now they call it the Palladium.
Okay.
Salsa Eddie has his at the Houston Dance Factory.
Yeah.
There is a Maya Studio. So they have events, and I know there's dance studios all over, and I'm sure they all have their own little private parties. So it's really important to be connected on Facebook, I would say, is where I find out of a lot of the socials going on for the weekend. So if I was like, I want to dance this weekend, let me look on Facebook and see what socials are going on this weekend, and I'll try to make them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you know much about the history of each dance?
Yes, actually, I think that's like the most important part. Actually, that's a lot of my friends say that I'm a purist. Like, I like to know the culture, the background of the different dances, because to me, that's like the most important. I'm not really into fusions. If you know me, I do not like fusion dances. I mean, I appreciate it, especially if it's a performance, I'll appreciate it, but that's like not my thing. Like, for example, I dance kizomba. I used to teach kizomba. I've performed. That is a dance from Angola, Africa. And the only reason why I know about that dance is because in high school, one of my best friends, she's from Angola. And so she introduced me to her culture, and I would go to their parties at home. And I just loved their culture. Very similar to how I grew up, but they speak Portuguese. They even dance samba, like in Brazil. So that's how I learned kizomba and samba, going to Angolan parties. So I really, really appreciate the culture. And even with that, I didn't take classes for Kizomba either. Now that's like a hot thing. People take classes to learn Kizomba, and people ask me all the time, where did I learn? What studio or who taught me? And it's like, oh no, I grew up, I went to parties. To me, that's the best way. When learning from the actual people, like, where did this dance come from?
Right.
That's very, very important to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, how did you get into Jamaican dance hall?
So I've always loved like reggae and dance hall. So even in Puerto Rico, they have reggaeton, which is pretty much just Spanish reggae. Very, very similar. So it's like a little bit more hip hop-ish, but you wind and move your waistline, and it's like it's been very similar. And growing up too, I used to love watching dance videos. So I would learn all different dance styles, and I used to just love that genre, and I really like the dancing of it. So I would just learn, and by watching, I'm a visual learner. I'll watch a video and I'll practice the moves. And then I was actually a Brookwine instructor, which is also a Caribbean or dance hall inspired fitness and dance class. So they were dancers for Sean Paul, and they would teach and train other dancers in dance hall. Not too much soca, but I was training and learning how to teach their styles too for the last couple years. So I would say there's not a lot of those type of classes down here. I would say more on the East Coast, like New York. And so I would say maybe the last 2-3 years, there's actually been like Caribbean dance hall classes here in Houston. And I was one of the first instructors with Brookwine, and I was trained and learned how to teach and their styles so I can teach other people down here in Houston.
Can you give us like the essence of each of those, like what makes them distinct from one another?
Yes, I get that question all the time because people are like, wow, you dance so many different styles. Like, how do you know the difference? I would definitely say educate yourself, because some people, for example, like I'll use Kizomba as an example. People love it because they think it kind of looks like tango, bachata. Like they all have some kind of similarity, but they're different. So that's why I always tell people like to listen to the music first. To me, is like you have to enjoy the music.
So what kind of music is it?
So like with Kizomba music, for example, it will be either Kizomba, Ghetto Zouk, Samba, Semba. Just learning like their music and just understanding it. And to me, that's always the first one, because if you don't understand the music, like the beats, the counts, the drops, like what to listen to, is like you can't dance to it. It's like a relationship. That's what I always say with dancing. Yeah. As long as you understand the music, you don't understand the lyrics. I can dance so many songs, I don't know what they're saying. So it's just understanding the music and the rhythm and how they dance to it and just catching on to it. So that's what I would say. Just always learn the history and the music, and you'll know the difference. For example, for salsa, there's different tempos you can dance on salsa. They call salsa on 1, salsa on 2. Mm-hmm. So a lot of professional dancers would ask you first, like, what do you dance on? Like salsa 1, salsa 2, because it's how you listen to the music. Okay. So do you hear this beat or do you hear that beat? And it's just like a language, an unspoken language. Like, okay, I listen to salsa on 2, so I'm gonna dance on the 2 beat. Yeah. So because if you're dancing you can be listening to a song and dancing to something else. It's like I love it. It's just like a language, unspoken language. Yes, yeah. But I think the foundation is the music. Mm-hmm. Do you understand the music? Do you understand how to dance to the music? Do you know how to listen to the music? What are you hearing? Mm-hmm. And it's so crazy that sometimes I struggle with musicality depending on the genres. Like for example, lately I've been training a lot in heels class, so a lot of it is very sensual, like R&B music. There's like hits and tones you need to listen to, and it's very different for me because it's just different from the instruments that I'm used to listening to in the other music. So I know on a clave beat, I know what to expect coming up. It's just different. Like, I think that's like the hardest challenge, I would say, just listening to the music and finding that rhythm and that beat and what you hear and dancing to it. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. It can get complicated. And that's why they have musicality classes. I'm not sure if people know that there is musicality classes where they will break down the song music, whatever genre you're listening to, just to break it down. Like, do you hear this beat? Do you hear this? You know how to count this?
Yeah.
Because I think that's just very important to know the music you're dancing to.
Right. I love those classes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I learn the names of the instruments, you know, because it's like I didn't even go that deep, and so all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's what that is.
Yes.
You know, that sound.
And you enjoy the dance a lot more because you like understand where that's coming from.
Right. And what about soca?
Ooh, so soca to me is just always a good time. It's very festive, reminds me of carnival. It's not a technical dance, it's just more of a feeling, fast, slow, moving your waistline, which can be hard or intimidating to some people. It's like, oh, I don't know how to move like that. It's just very freeing. Mm-hmm. And you can dance by yourself, you can dance with a partner.
Where's it from?
So soca is just Caribbean music. They have like calypso, mostly from Trinidad. Trinidad's probably the most popular when it comes to soca music. Barbados, St. Lucia, so a lot of the Caribbean islands, but I would say Trinidad is the motherland when it comes to soca music. Mm-hmm. And of course, reggae, dance hall will be Jamaica. Mm-hmm. So that's, again, also important knowing where it comes from, so you have more appreciation. I went to Trinidad actually earlier this year, February, right before Corona, literally a week. No, I landed in the U.S. and it was like, oh, the world's done. Like, we're shut down. And I was confused. I was like, I just came back from Trinidad, and I appreciate it so much because I know soca came from Trinidad, and being part of their culture is like, I just really appreciated that because I didn't grow up in that culture. I wasn't around that to learn. So I really had to like study it. Yeah. And made me just enjoy it so much more.
Have you traveled a lot to dance?
Yes, I did it. I've done it for years. This is like the first time in years that I have not traveled for dance. Almost every month or every other month, I'm going to some dance festival in another city.
Wow.
for the weekend. There's dance festivals all over the U.S., outside the U.S., internationally, and people really do travel for dance, to dance in different places, meet different people, and also use it as an excuse to have a vacation. Like, you don't just have to dance. Like, you can go visit whatever the tourist attractions are, or make it a vacation. And that's what I would say I miss the most about my dance life, because I used to travel. I had so many festivals I was looking forward to this year attending, like in Canada.
Have you been to the same ones year after year, or are you always trying to?
Sometimes.
What are some of your favorites?
Sometimes. So my favorite for Kizomba would be what they call, the festival's called Sawa Sawa. It's in Washington, D.C., always 4th of July weekend. I go to that every single year. It's just like the quality of dancers that go there, the training, the instructors. It's just a fun city. I love the museums in Washington, D.C., and even the food. So it's just like a fun trip in general for dance training and just to visit another city. And I plan for that every year.
Cool.
So I have like my few that I go to every year, and then which ones I know I want to try. It just depends on if it's in the U.S. or outside the U.S. Like my favorite in Houston is the Houston Salsa Congress. I go every single year.
Nice.
I love that festival.
Who does that?
It's the Houston Dance Society, I believe, HSD, Houston Salsa Dancers. It's a nonprofit.
Great.
Yes, so they have the festival every single year. That's probably one of the biggest salsa festivals, I would say, even in the U.S. People from all over the world come to Houston to dance salsa. But it's not just salsa. Like, they have other classes, Latin, African, and they have concerts. Like, artists come in and do live concerts, and you can dance live to their music. There's workshops, so you can take dance classes all day, every day.
Right.
It's like a work conference, but for dance. Mm-hmm. And we do it all weekend. It's just really, really fun. They also have musicality classes there, too. They have different levels, beginner, intermediate, advanced. They do challenges. So if you want to perform, you're not on a team, or you just want to challenge yourself and learn a new dance style, you can spend that weekend learning a routine, and then you perform. At night, there's shows.
Cool.
It's just really, really fun. It's really fun. I love it. I definitely love it. You do not have to be a professional. You don't have to be performing to attend these kind of events. You can just attend and dance for fun and learn different styles.
Cool.
Yes.
Have you been traveling internationally much for dance?
Not this year.
Okay.
No,
you mentioned Canada and Trinidad.
Yes. So I made it to Trinidad this year, but I did not make it to Canada or Jamaica, actually. But I would say last year my favorite international trip was to Portugal. And I went to Spain too, but Portugal was definitely my favorite when it came to dancing. I love the culture as well. The food, the country was beautiful. I just loved it. I loved it. And actually, I didn't even know there was a festival. I didn't go for the festival. It so happened there's a festival, and I was like, oh, well, I'm going.
It just follows you around.
And it was crazy because I knew like a couple people from the U.S. that were there.
Wow.
Yeah, even one from
Small
Houston.
world.
I was like, dance world is tiny. Right. It does not matter where you live. You can live in the U.S., overseas. It's like you will meet someone somewhere at a dance festival.
Right.
Yeah. I was like laughing because I was like, I didn't even tell anybody. I didn't even know it was coming. And I'm like, how do I already know some people here? I'm in Portugal. So, yes, that's one of the beauties I love about dance. You just meet so many different people from different backgrounds, different cultures, speak different languages. And it's like we all share that common passion and love for dance. So we all invest in it, travel, and it just takes you a lot of places. I love it.
So, do you have to budget a lot, like just for dance? Because it sounds pretty expensive.
I'm not gonna lie, it's an expensive lifestyle. So I do tell people, if you're really gonna make this part of your lifestyle, of course you need a budget for it. I'm not about going broke for dance. That's why I was like, you want to plan like which events I want to go to this year, especially if you have to travel for it. Definitely plan, like just know, okay, these are the 3 festivals I'm gonna go to this year. And of course the local ones, it's not that big of a deal. We're fortunate to live in Houston. I feel like we have all dance genres here. So really any day of the week before Rona, you really could find somewhere to dance. So it just really depends on what you're looking for. So that's one thing I am grateful about Houston.
Yeah.
Because some other people, like if they live in another state that they don't really have a dancing, they have to travel. They have to go somewhere else. So they definitely have to budget. So I think it really depends on where you live, what you're looking for. And I'm not going to encourage people to go broke for dance in general, because I know the dance lifestyle is expensive. I mean, even being on dance team, I remember in high school it being expensive, like especially if you're performing, costumes, shoes, training. All that it's an expensive lifestyle.
Right.
But yeah, definitely managing it, budgeting for it. And I personally like my travel card. So I have all my points on there. That's one thing I will say about a lot of travelers. We either have travel cards, buddy passes, or we just have points to travel because we travel so much. So eventually it pays itself off. So a lot of us do the travel cards. It works in your favor.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
That's a little side tip.
Like bonus points for traveling?
Oh, yeah.
Is it when you earn them or spend them?
It's both. I guess it just depends what card you get. Sometimes when you first sign up with a card, if you spend, let's say, if you spend $3,000 in 3 months on that card, they'll give you 50,000 points.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So
what do you have?
I use the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, that is probably one of the top cards. But if you want something to start off, I would say the Chase Preferred. And there's also other travel cards. Like I have a United card, a Southwest card, whatever works for you, whatever airline you like to fly the most. I mean, of course, you can build your credit, gain points on travel, or pay a bill with that card, and it adds up, and then you can save up for that one trip. I mean, however you want to do it. Yeah, there's ways to it. There's definitely ways around it. And then a lot of the festivals, they usually rent out hotel rooms where they give you discount rates just through the festival. And a lot of us, you'll get 4 roommates and you split it and you're not spending much on the hotel. Sometimes it's cheaper than getting an Airbnb. Like they look out for you.
Right.
So that's what a lot of organizers do, make sure we have deals when it comes to hotels.
What do you do for food? Because, like, hotel food.
See, and that's one thing I do love about traveling. I do not eat hotel food. That's way too expensive.
Right.
So one thing I love about traveling, I like to know what are the best local restaurants to eat at. So I usually do my research beforehand, or I ask someone that's been there, or I might even go on Facebook, hey, I'm going to this city this weekend, where should we eat? or even on the event pages, people may ask, or hey, let's go grab lunch somewhere, who wants to go? A group of us dancers are gonna go try this restaurant. So there's ways around. It's fun. Like I say, you don't just go for dance. You get to explore whatever city you're visiting, and yeah, you just budget for that too. And a lot of those travel cards as well give you points back for eating out. Mm-hmm. So that's another bonus.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it figured out?
Yes. Cool. I have it working for me. You just got to know how to use your cards right. That's all.
Right.
But yeah, you don't have to pay for travel. And honestly, with this pandemic, I think I've canceled like 8 flights. So now I have so much credit.
Wow.
So I don't think I'll be paying for any flights for at least a year now. I mean, I'm not complaining, but I would love to go back to a dance festival.
I know.
I miss it. I miss social dancing so bad.
What have you been doing?
I've been working more on my fitness, like actual like weights, cardio. Mm-hmm. Surprisingly, I've lost 15 pounds during this pandemic.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. I mean, I guess dancing doesn't do much for me when it comes to like burning calories, or at least it obviously, because my body's just used to it. So like now with weights and bands and actually going outside, walking, running, now I'm seeing a huge difference. So I'm focusing on that aspect. At first I was doing virtual classes, but that's just not for me. I'm definitely over anything virtual at this point.
Right.
But
have you taught virtually?
Once, well, twice.
Yeah.
Twice. I mean, it was okay, but it's just weird. I feel like I'm just talking to myself. I just love the in-person.
Right.
It's just so different. You feel people's energy. It's just a different experience.
Yeah.
But I am proud of the people who've always wanted to take dance classes and they haven't, and they've been taking advantage of this time to do it virtually, to just in the comfort of their own homes. I think that's really, really great.
Yeah.
It's really great. Me, I like to be out. I like the social aspect of it. But I feel like those people, I think the dance scene is going to grow now after this, especially those who been taking classes from home because they were either intimidated to go to in-person classes, and I think now we'll see a lot more people in class once studios open.
Yeah, and having just the time to give to yourself, as a part of just enjoying life and like finding fun in everyday things. It's like, oh yeah, we could just dance. Yes. And then it's like, well, and without the mirror and everybody else intimidating you, just kind of connect with yourself and just tap into that.
Yes. So I'm excited for the future of dance. I think it's going to be great. Especially since we've been isolated for so long and we're all desperate to dance and partner dance and social dance and go to festivals and perform again.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that because I miss it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you dancing at home?
I do, but still not the same.
Yeah.
But I've been taking dance classes at the studios, but it's very limited. We have to wear a mask the whole time. Man, wearing a mask while you dance, it is hard. It's definitely hard. But of course, safety first, health first. So I've been really focusing on the heels class, stilettos, that kind of class, because I usually do partner dancing, like social dancing or like Caribbean, Latin, like cultural dances. And so I haven't been doing like that training part.
Do you wear heels when you do Latin dance?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Great. You have some new moves.
Yes. Definitely. It's like a different kind. It's just different. Different movements, different timing, different musicality. So it's definitely been a challenge. Like I feel like a beginner.
Wow.
So it's just, I don't know. I think that's a good part about dance. Like you're always learning. Like I'm never satisfied. I know I'm not like the best, or I need to like train more and more and more and more.
It's a really complicated instrument.
Yes.
It's a lot. It's a full body, immersion. Like it's everything. Thinking about, just a musician trying to master something as simple as a musical instrument, compared to you trying to master, everything about that you could possibly move.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge, but it's fun. It's definitely fun. Sometimes I get frustrated with myself. It's like, okay, I hear it, but my body's not moving to that part. So it's just like learning to be patient with yourself, especially if you're like learning different styles. It can be a challenge. I would just say keep practicing. Just keep on practicing until you get it. some people get it really fast. Some people it just takes them some time. And we all learn in different levels, just like in school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just different levels. That's all.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you just kind of grew up dancing. When did you like start training?
Well, I trained in ballet and jazz for years. I would say starting at 5 to about 16 or 17. I was always, I was more of a jazz, especially in high school. I love jazz. I did lyrical and modern a little bit in college, but I think once I got back in college, I really wanted to explore and expand more than just jazz and ballet, because I felt like it was a little bit more restricting. That's when I started my Latin dance company, because I really wanted to get back into like my culture, and to me it's just a lot more fun. Yeah. Not as many rules.
When did you get into samba?
I got into samba when I actually graduated from college. There was a dance company here, LD Dance, that I used to follow, and I actually met the owner at a Brazilian party, and I like fell in love with her, and I was like, oh yeah, she dances, she teaches. So I started taking her classes. So actually when I was in college, whenever I would be back home in the summer, I would just take classes and train in the summer, then I'll go back to school. So one of my goals was, okay, once I finish college, I want to join that dance company. Awesome. LD Dance Company, which I did. I mean, you have to audition. I trained. I was a newbie, and that was definitely one of the most challenging ones because a lot of cardio. And again, this wasn't my culture. This dance is from Brazil. It's very intense, very athletic, dancing in heels, very fast. But it's just so fun. It's a lot of fun energy, carnival. And I really just appreciated the culture of it, and I did that for about 3 years. And it was to the point where I was competing. I've competed for a samba dance competition. Performed a lot for festivals, weddings, corporate events. Almost every weekend I had like shows, and I would perform samba, and I loved it. I loved it a lot. And people would be shocked because they would think I'm Brazilian.
I figured you were.
Yeah, people used to think I was Brazilian all the time. I was like, I'll take it. I mean, to me, that's a compliment. Yeah. I was like, I love the culture. I appreciate the culture, and I hope I represent it well. Yeah. But I definitely enjoyed it. Yes, it's so fun. I love it. Yeah. And even with that, there's different levels to it. I mean, kids version, the carnival version, which can be sometimes explicit for some people, but that's like the cultural carnival. And then there's different styles, ashe. There's like even the formal. So there's even with that, even within the whole Brazilian culture, they have different styles of dance within. Right. Yes. So I loved it. I just love learning different cultures. And just because I love it doesn't mean I know how to dance it. Right. Some I just watch, like hip hop. I can't dance hip hop to save my life, but I love watching it. I love it. I don't know. I just like to stick to what I know I'm good at, but I could still challenge myself. But if I know I just cannot do it, like hip hop, I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'll admire it, and I love the dancers that can do it, and I will watch you and support you. But I can't. I don't think like can pop lock and do all that. I wish.
You're a good company.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's one thing I'll say. Fortunately, can't be good at everything. Right. With dancing, there's just so many. Same thing with school. We're not good at every single subject. Yeah.
The rough wine looks really, really fun.
It is fun.
Yeah. Big groups of girls.
Yes.
Just like having an amazing time together. So are you like, how do you get into that? Do you get certified to do it? Do you have to like go to those people or So the owners, there's two owners. They're based out of New York. One of the owners moved to Houston, and that's what I was mentioning. She trained me to become one of the instructors, like the first instructor here in Texas, to help teach classes and like their style and all that. So I did not have to get certified, but I know they do have a certification program. It has not launched yet, I think because of COVID. Yeah. But I know that's definitely in the works. So, cool. So more people can be certified and teach at in their cities. Right. And where should they check that out?
On the website, brookwine.com. Yes.
I'll put a link to it.
Okay. Yes. So I know they still have classes online. I haven't been teaching online. Honestly, dance has not been my focus. Like teaching online has not been my focus during this pandemic. I've been focusing on like other personal goals outside of dance to Because honestly, dance can take a lot of your time. And I've just really taken advantage of this time to focus on those other things.
Right.
And, you know, maybe God wanted me to focus on other things. Still dance and I still love it. I miss it a lot, but I can wait for the in-person. I don't like the virtual.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
You know, just pick up those things that, you know, you've been thinking about doing.
Yes.
So you published your first book.
Yes,
Tell us
I
about
did.
it.
So I have my book here. It's called Curly Gal Affirmations. So people ask me what this gal means. It just means girl. It really means curly girl affirmations. I did the gal just to have more of the cultural influence. Like, she's Caribbean. Like, I wanted it to be like that. Uh-huh. So actually, I wrote this book almost 2 years ago. I just did nothing with it.
Wow.
See? And that's what the pandemic was like. Okay, you just have this sitting here.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? And I just would write affirmations to myself. I love affirmations. I write them on my mirror at home or just on my counter to myself. And it's just one of the practices I do for self-love. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people may be shocked, but like my hair was a big insecurity as a child. Like, just growing up, it was like always a huge insecurity. When I was young, it wasn't very popular. Curly hair wasn't really popular, and I was teased and made fun of as a kid. So I used to straighten my hair all the time. Every day I was straightening my hair. Every morning I'll wake up early, straighten my hair. In high school, people didn't even know I had curly hair until like maybe the last month of my senior year in high school, because I just stopped caring. I was like, I am so tired of straightening my hair every single day. And I had to do it every day because I had dance practice every day, so I'd sweat it out. So I had to straighten my hair. I used to do relaxers, put chemicals in my hair because I just wanted straight hair so bad. And I don't know what it was about my senior year of high school. I was like, I don't care anymore. I may not see any of these people again. I'm going to college. I'm going to be my own person. And I just like went through this phase where I was like, I'm tired of trying to look a different kind of way. Mm-hmm. And then as an adult, I battled with it too, being in corporate America and then interviewing for jobs, how, you know, your hair is not professional. So it's just like always been like a battle, even in dance. Like, you need to have your hair straight in a slick bun or a slick ponytail, or there's like certain hairstyles I couldn't do. So it's always been a battle for me, like a struggle. Like, okay, I know I look different. I wish I didn't. And it's like something I've always struggled with. And even to this day, sometimes I do. It's like, man, I wish my hair looked like that. I have to catch myself. Mm-hmm. So that's why I wrote affirmations down. And I know there's other girls that have similar issues. So I wrote this book down, and I made sure that everybody was represented, all skin tones, all hair textures. And I wrote 30 affirmations. So one affirmation for every day of the month to like repeat to yourself, and self-love. Love yourself, love your hair, love who God made you, and just to remind yourself that, I mean, we don't have to go by the world standards of beauty. And it's just something I just really battled for years. Like, I would say most of my life. Sorry. Yeah. But it's like, it's crazy now how it's like a trend too. Like, now curly hair is in, and there's wigs and all kinds of things to have curly hair. And I'm just like, wow, I wish this was cool when I was younger. So, but I'm glad. Like, everything's evolving.
Right.
Yes, but those like deep issues sometimes, or depending where you are, it can come up again.
Yeah.
Yes, because I'm still, when I will go to interviews, it's like I have to put my hair up in a bun, mm-hmm. real tight, so it's not distracting or unprofessional. Or. Mm-hmm. But to this day, people ask me all the time, is your hair real? Can I touch it? To this day. So it's like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So that's another market for me. Dancing, curly hair, traveling. Mm-hmm. I feel like all that represents me. Yeah. So I'm just really happy that I had this opportunity to focus on this.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I have other projects that I still want to do.
How can people get your book?
Oh, my book is available on Amazon, actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so you can just type in Curly Gal Affirmations, and Gal is Gyal. And I'm the only one. And honestly, before I even published on Amazon, that's one of the first things I did. I Google and I search, are there any hair affirmation books, any kind of affirmations? Nothing. Nothing. So I was like, okay, there's the need.
Insecurity.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm more like wavy hair, don't care. Kinda like I have this like wave thing, and I feel like, I mean, it's not, for me, it's more like just growing up, like still with the straightening.
Yes.
You know, it was still like, it's not supposed to be wavy. It's one thing if it's like, you know, curly like Kate Winslet in Titanic, but like wavy, and only like parts of it, you know? So yeah, I mean, I look forward to reading it.
Thank you.
Can you give us one?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, one affirmation. Will you give us
one?
Oh,
give us an affirmation. Yeah, we can even look in.
Cool. Okay. I'm getting one. I'm definitely going in.
Let's see.
Oh, it's really cute, too.
It is. It's like, which
great
one?
Photos.
Thank you.
I love it.
So, one, I would say, I was trying to find the one for me.
Are you in there?
I am. That's what I'm trying to look for. One of my pictures, of course I could put myself in there, but I didn't put myself as the cover. Even though my mom was like, you need to be on the cover. Cool. So, okay, this is one of my favorite ones for us. So, affirmation 15, God took his time creating each curl. Aww. So, to me, it's like, okay, if God makes some mistakes, he knows what he's doing. He knows what, like I say, every hair on you. So so like if he took his time to do this, you're fine. Like, right. Don't question yourself.
Right. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So this is for all ages. This is just for more self-love. If you have hair-ish, any kind of hair, curly hair, wavy, whatever texture, if it's just not straight and it's made you feel a certain way, that straight is just pretty and the perfect and the only way. I want to change that norm.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yes.
So when you, so you work in HR with Harris County. So can you tell us a little bit about that job that supports your dance life, and what it's been like since the beginning of the pandemic?
Absolutely. So I'm blessed that I do have a corporate full-time job that supports my lifestyle and my passion. I mean, there is dancers that I know are having a hard time because their full-time job was dancing. That's why I always say have a backup, have something else. So dance was never my full-time. It's definitely my part-time. So my full-time job is in HR. I work in healthcare. My background was oil and gas, but I've been in healthcare for the last 2 years. By the way, they're very, very supportive of my book. Very supportive company. So I'm very grateful for that. Obviously, with the pandemic, being in healthcare, it's been busier than ever. Even though I'm working from home, it is extremely busy. Work in HR, obviously, so we need nurses, we need medical staff, we need all of that. So I've been extremely busy, but it's also been rewarding because I think right now, like the heroes are the ones in the medical field right now. So it's nice to work in that environment. It's stressful, but it's also rewarding because it's like we all make a difference at least in that organization, because we're all dealing with patient care. But one thing I know that was a little frustrating for some people, especially being in healthcare with this pandemic, is people just think, oh, there's only COVID, but there's still so many other health issues and priorities that I think even the news might have neglected, but it's like we still have the busyness of the normal healthcare, and on top of that, COVID. So it's just made things so much more busier. It has changed a lot. The way we work. It's been an adjustment for sure. Very, very stressful at times, but it's definitely worth it.
So you're working from home?
Yes.
So if you're not a doctor or nurse, you don't go in?
Yes, for the most part, if you're not doing direct patient care, you don't need to be at work.
And you did work at the headquarters before?
Yeah, I was in the admin, but I don't have direct patient.
Right.
So, and then there's some people who have a hybrid where they'll come in once or twice a week, depending on their schedule, if they need to be in the office. But me in HR, I don't have any direct patient contact, so there's really no need for me to be there in person. So I got fortunate. And then, of course, people who were working directly with patients, they a lot of nurses, a lot of people were getting way higher pay just for
hazard pay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because of what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But the good news is it's very, very low now. It's not like we have our ICUs full, because there was a time where it's like, okay, everybody, we don't want you to panic, but we don't have room. We don't have room for people. So we're not there anymore.
Yeah.
Thank God.
It's been a while?
Yeah.
Since July?
Yeah. Because I know we were nervous about Labor Day weekend. We thought it was going to just spike up.
When school started?
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes. Yes. It has, but it's not where it's out of control. Yes. And the good thing is a lot of the young people recover pretty quickly. So
bars haven't opened yet.
Some have.
Some have. Well,
some have.
They're like bars.
Yes.
Bar slash
restaurants.
Quote unquote. Yeah.
Yes. So it's just been.
There were like bars getting like taco trucks in their parking lots to pass a restaurant threshold.
Yes. People are trying to do the loopholes, but
it's
been a hard time, I think, for certain careers for sure. Entertainment business, dance. Yes. So I think the ones who have like the harder adjustments right now are like the teachers and healthcare workers. Oof.
Right. Yeah, they're
God
really
bless.
there, putting their lives on the line, going out.
Yes. So I just want us all to get back to dancing. It's like a stress reliever for so many of us. It's personally my escape from life and work, and just also an excuse to travel. It's like I don't have that anymore, and it's such a big aspect of my life. Like I literally cannot go a week without dancing. Yeah. So it's been hard.
So like, what are you waiting for?
I don't even know. It's like, I want the world to open up. I want to travel again.
When will you be like, I mean, you're not there yet, but like, is there a sign that you need to see that says like, okay, I'm gonna go on a trip, or I'm gonna go to this party, or
Well, I decided not to live in fear. I have traveled. I went to Mexico a few months ago, and I'm actually going again next weekend for my birthday. And to be honest,
happy birthday!
Thank you. And to be honest, Mexico, I felt way safer in Mexico than I did here. Their precautions, they were a lot more strict.
Really?
Very strict.
like
And then,
what?
Like you have to wear your mask everywhere, outside. Like it's mandatory, and every doorstep, anywhere that you step in, they check your temperature, give you hand sanitizer, and like that's everywhere. In the cars, at the airport.
Okay.
A lot of safety precautions. And I went to Tulum, so pretty much everything was outside. So and a lot of water activities. So I will say I have definitely spent more time outside.
Yeah.
During this pandemic. So that's been a good part.
Yeah, beach dance party.
Yeah, just outside. But it was pretty empty when I went. There was no parties. I didn't go to any parties. There was none of that. It was actually pretty relaxing. Just to be on the beach. Just the sound of the ocean. It's great. So the reason why I decided to go back to Mexico is because, again, it's relaxing. And I was going to go to Jamaica or like Puerto Rico, like my other favorite islands that are open, but they're kind of restricted. But those are like my islands that I like to go out and have a good time and dance. And I feel like that would be like punishment if I go there and I can't do those things. Like,
you'll just be like,
I'll be sad. I was like, I don't want to go there and be sad. Like even when I went to Puerto Rico, they're like, oh, the beaches are closed. I'm like, I'm not going. So that's why I like Mexico. Like beaches are open. It's relaxing. I've actually never been to Mexico. It's been even though I live right here across the border, I've never been. So just I will say take opportunities to even travel just domestically, cities you've never been to that you always wanted to, just for the weekend. I mean, I know a lot of people who've done solo travel, who've just taken new risks and just achieving their goals that they wanted to go. Like I had a friend who was like, I've always wanted to go to Seattle. I'm gonna go. She went for 2 days by herself. Like during this time. But I know right now a lot of people are travel shaming, like even in travel groups that I'm in on like Facebook. I know even someone told me on my posts that I was like the loser of the year or something because I traveled.
Oh.
But it's just like, I mean, I'm not going to encourage people to travel, and I'm also not going to discourage you to travel. It's whatever you're comfortable with. But I was losing my sanity. I try to go somewhere. Like I said before, every month I would go somewhere for like a weekend just to distress. Mm-hmm. But now I'm just, I guess, doing every 3 months. So that would do for now.
Okay.
But just be safe. Be safe everywhere you go. Wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your distance.
Yeah. And I've heard airplanes have like some of the most sophisticated air filters.
Oh, yeah. They do. It's cleaner air. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just whatever you're comfortable with.
Yep.
I just feel like at this point we should not be telling people what they should and shouldn't do when it comes to like sending your kids to school. That's a personal decision. Going to dance class, that's your personal decision. Traveling, it's just like, just do what makes you comfortable. Yeah, it's like a lot of judgment. A lot of judgment going on. It's just like, just mind your business. Yes.
My guest today is Janel Caminos. Janel, thank you very much for being a part of Dance Talks.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thanks for listening. Please subscribe and share our podcast, and reach out to us on social media if you'd like to talk. To support Dance Talks, donate to Dance Houston. Talk to you on Monday.